Hi, I'm Ian. Welcome back to Nutrition with Gardens of Eden. This week's hero of the week is butternut squash for us. So we're doing a few techniques on how to use this vegetable this week. So the first one we're going to be doing is pan-fried duck breast with butternut squash puree and butternut squash fondants. So let's crack on with this dish and see how it turns out. So the first step is let's start making the puree. So we just get one shallot, so roughly chop like that. And then you get your garlic, just crush it with your hand and just give that a rough chop as well. So now the onions and garlic is sliced, we're going to move on to the main part for the puree, the butternut squash. So cut that straight down, we'll keep this for the fondants for later. Perfect. So take your spoon and scoop out the seeds there. Cut that down there, cut it in half. We're just going to take off the skin. Perfect. It's getting slippy. Alright, all butternut squash is peeled now, so now we're just going to chop it. Okay, so now we're going to heat the pan up, then we're going to start the puree. And with just a touch of olive oil. There we go. Okay, pan's nice and hot now, so there's in with the onions and garlic. Put a touch of salt in with them. Helps cook the onions down. There we go, butternut squash is in. Just want to sweat this down for a minute. Then we'll add a touch of water to cover it and we'll let it cook. Okay, with the water, just enough to cover the butternut squash. And we'll let that cook. It should take about 10 to 15 minutes. And then we're going to blend it with some cream. Okay, so now the puree's cooking, so let's move on to prepping the duck. Take all that excess fat off. Just be careful, go in with the point of the knife. You just want to take that sinew off. Flip it over. Okay, so now we're going to score it, which helps release all the fat when you're cooking it in the frying pan. And then it makes the duck breast nice and crispy. Okay, so now it's time to start cooking the duck. So you want to just put some salt on the skin. You want to get a medium hot pan. You don't want any oil in the pan whatsoever because the fat from the duck brings out loads and loads of oil, yeah? Okay, so the duck's been in for about a minute now. Look at all the fat that's coming off it now. So that's why you don't want to add any oil. Okay, it's been cooking for about 2 minutes now, and look at all that fat that comes off. So drain that fat off. You can see it's not crispy yet, so you want to just keep cooking that until it's nice and golden brown and crispy. So now we're just going to put a bit of extra salt on top. All right, let's have a little look. Almost ready, almost ready. So now you just flip it. You want to seal this side. Okay, flip it back round, so we're going to put it in the oven. You want to cook it skin side down. So make sure you drain off any excess fat before it goes in the oven. Take about 6 to 7 minutes to cook at 180. Okay, duck's in the oven, so now get the other part of the butternut squash we didn't use earlier. You want to just cut it into a little ring shape. We're just going to make little fondants out of it. So we just got the different size shapes, so just do little squares or rectangles, it's up to you. So now you just want to put a touch of olive oil into a pan. You want to get quite a hot-ish pan for the butternut squash, which we're using these as a replacement to potato, so which is really good for your keto-friendly diet. Okay, so now let's flip them, and with the butter, and then with some thyme. Don't worry about having the stems in there, just to get some flavour into the butter and infuse into the butternut squash. And then pop it in the oven for 2 minutes. Okay, so now the water's all cooked down in the butternut squash, we're going to add in some soya milk into the blender, and we're going to blitz it till it's nice and smooth. Okay, so now it's silky smooth. You just want to pass it just to make sure there's no lumps. So then just check it for seasoning, make sure you're happy with the seasoning of it. Okay, so the duck's ready now, so we're taking it out of the oven, we're going to put it onto a plate. You want to take it out of the pan so it doesn't keep cooking. Let it rest for 4 minutes. Okay, so while your duck's resting, we're going to get on to prepping the rest of the dish. So carrots, you just want to peel. Okay, so in the carrots go to the duck pan. Like I said, adds flavour to it when you're using the duck from the fat. Then in with just a bit of water, just like a butter and water emulsion. Let that cook for 3 minutes, then we're ready. Okay, so butternut's out of the oven. Transfer the butternut squash to the plate and we'll use the same pan for the mushrooms. Okay, in goes the mushrooms. This is the same pan we used the butternut squash, so it's got good flavour. Just a bit of salt to it. There we go. So now mushrooms have been cooking for 30 seconds. Flip them, let them cook for 30 more seconds, then off. Look at that colour. The carrots are ready now. The water's almost completely reduced. The butter's got in there. Look at the nice shine on the carrots. Take them off, add them to the same. Okay, so now it's time to plate up. So get your butternut squash puree. I like to just do a big line here. I get some of your butternut squash fondants. Just place them anywhere you like. On with some mushrooms. I like to just chop the end off. Okay, so put your carrots down like that. So now it's time to cut the duck breast. Cut it straight down the middle. Finishing touches, just a couple of red currants. Finish off with some micro herbs. There we go. So that's how it's finished now, guys. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel below for more of this weekly content we do, and for more of these recipes, go to our webpage. Thank you very much and see you next time.